so much for joining me today to
No
talk
worries.
about. We're talking about "It's a Wonderful Knife," which is great. I promised myself I wasn't going to say "It's a Wonderful Life," but it's one of my favorite movies.
Hard.
So what drew you to this movie and the character you play, Jane?
I mean, first of all, I love Michael Kennedy. I love all of the stuff that he does. So as soon as I saw that it was written by him, I loved it. And then I read it, loved it even more because I'm a really big fan of the slasher, the whole like final girl stereotype, all that type of stuff. So it was right up my alley to begin with. And then the Christmas element of it. I've really only watched like a few kind of Christmas horror films. And before this movie, I ended up watching like the whole Rolodex. And I really fell in love with the genre. And so it allowed me to find like a new love in the horror genre, which I absolutely I loved. I was ecstatic about that.
Oh, nice. That's amazing. So just you know, like what was your favorite Christmas horror movie after your deep dive into those films?
I would have to say Krampus. I think that that's a
Mm.
great like classic. And I love the what do you I love like the monster in it,
Yeah.
Krampus, like I love that whole aspect. I also just love a good scary thing to chase you around for lack of a better way of saying that. Like I'm a big fan of Stranger Things for that reason. Um but yeah, so that's a good one. I think the other one that I liked was Silent Night, the
Mm.
one with the two kids, right? Is that the one that I'm thinking of?
Um,
Yeah, I think it's the one with like the two kids. And that one's scary. Yeah.
nice. That's awesome. So yeah, now well, so you have a lot of amazing like very emotionally charged scenes, and I'm always curious, like, what's your process to really get to that point where you're so in character and in the moment?
Mhm. Well, for me, for every character, I have a playlist that I do for
Mm.
every character, and I really love it because it allows me to put in my headphones and tune out the rest of the world and really focus in on what's going to happen in the scene. But another part of my process is I'll go over the scene, I'll do all my notes for the scene, think about the thought processes behind it, and then right before I'll just let it go, and kind of forget about it. And that way I can really find the magic in the moment. And so I think that that's also extremely important for the emotionally charged scenes. I specifically that helped me the most in the emotional scene that I did one-on-one with Joel,
Mm.
because we really had to play off one another. And so that method, the way that my process of, trying to forget everything and go in and be in the moment really, really helped for that scene because we were able to play off of each other so well.
Yeah, no, that's great. And I actually made some notes about that scene because it was so good, and it was like I think it just both of y'all just really kind of convey that emotion of the scene. So, speaking of Joel McHale, what was he like to work with? Because he seems like quite the character.
I mean, yeah, everything is a bit with Joel, and it's incredible. He was honestly, to work with him, he was like ultimate dad. I mean, he really took care of me. He wanted to make sure that everything was going well. He was only there for the first week. So it was essentially like dad came in and was like, don't mess with them or else I'll beat you up. I'll come back and I'll beat you up. And then, like that was it. But he's just like ultimate dad mode. It's really funny
Nice.
to like watch him exist as a human because he's just like a father to everyone.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, playing off one another, and that's kind of a good segue into my next question, which was the chemistry is so amazing with you and the other actors. Did you have a lot of time to sort of get to know one another to really form that sort of chemistry?
No, we were just kind of thrown into the deep
Mm.
end. I think the only person that I met before was Jess, and we met 3 days before at a little director's session where we did, I think, 2 or 3 scenes together with Tyler. And that, I mean, from that first session, we could see that we had an intense amount of chemistry between the two characters, and kind of just decided to run with it. But everybody else, there was not, we met, when we got to work, and I really did bond with Aiden, who plays my brother. And I knew that that would be an important, like, I needed to bond with him because we have this sibling relationship that is so important. And that's like the first person that Winnie looks for in the alternate reality. So I knew, like, the most important person in Winnie's life is her brother. So I immediately, like, first week of set, when I first met him, I was like, we're hanging out. We're going to the movies together, and we're gonna get dinner, and we're gonna hang out. But we really bonded. And so I love him so much, and I'm so glad that I, have him as a friend now for life.
That's great. Yeah, and I think, the whole premise is such a fun sort of take on It's a Wonderful Life. I'm sure you've seen that before, or did you see that in preparation for this movie?
I've seen it, I don't know how many times. I mean, it was one of those that we watched every Christmas growing
Ah,
up, so it has a special place in my heart. But I think I watched it like 5 times for this, just because I find a lot of Winnie's moments really correspond to George Bailey, and how, for example, the dock scene where I make my wish is a lot like the suicide bridge scene. And then, at the end, when I'm like screaming like Merry Christmas, like Angel Falls, like that's very all George Bailey and It's a Wonderful Life. So I really loved that we were able to like pull those specific moments. And I mean, Jimmy Stewart is a phenomenal actor, so it was really cool to be able to take notes from him.
nice. Okay, so what is your best Jimmy Stewart doing the famous that was that line, Merry
But this
Christmas movie house?
no, I did it in the thing. Because I go Merry Christmas movie theater.
Hmm.
And at the very end, but there was one take where I did accidentally say movie house because I'd been watching the scene so much. And afterwards, Taylor was like, just say movie theater. Like, nobody says movie house. I was like, got it. Yep.
No, I
Understand.
love that. I would try to do a Jimmy Stewart voice, but I don't want to embarrass myself because I'm not an actor. I'm not talented like that.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard, honestly. He projects a lot of his voice. That's what you
Yeah,
take from that.
from
Yeah.
the diaphragm, I guess, like that.
Mhm,
Uh,
mhm. Very like musical theater training, you know?
yep. Yeah. So this interview is now a acting course.
Exactly. Welcome to my master class.
No, that's great. And like I said, you're so great in this. And
Thank
Justin
you.
Long, oh my gosh, like kills me. Like I don't know, like he's playing this sort of like what was that, like mega pastor, like Joel, I don't know, I
Joel
can't.
Olstein?
Yeah, it was kind of giving me that sort of vibe with the
Yeah.
sort of like spray tan, the like very over the top. Like were those like fake teeth?
I'm pretty sure that was I'm pretty sure that was like his reference. Like what he
Hmm,
was going for was
hmm,
a Joel Olstein impression. Could be
nice.
completely wrong, but pretty sure. And yeah, he did it. He took it home.
And what was it like working with him? And again, probably like with Joel is probably just really great to sort of, work off of each other.
Yeah, I mean, definitely. It's great to work off of each other. And he is just, you could tell him to talk about a flower in a character and he would be able to talk about it for 10 pages.
Right.
He can deliver so well in terms of ad-libbing and just, spinning off what another actor says and making the scene just come to life in that way, which I really loved being able to watch. It's really cool to see veterans like Joel and Justin, their process. And I loved being able to watch that. But yeah, no, I mean, he's really cool. And he completely did not look like himself with those veneers and the spray tan and the wig, everything. Now when I see a regular picture of Justin, I'm like, that's not
That's
Justin because
not.
I'm used to other Justin.
Yeah. He just like cracks me up. Like I said, y'all are just so good in this. Do you recall like when you shot this? Like
Yeah, so we shot March of through April of this year, 2023, in Vancouver.
Oh, nice. So I asked because so a friend of mine, he directs Hallmark Christmas movies, and he's always like, "Oh, it's in the summer, so it's so weird. We all have to bundle, like the cast has to bundle up, and it's like 100 degrees out." So I was just kind of curious because I
No,
feel
yeah, I mean, it definitely wasn't, it was a little cold. I mean, it wasn't too cold. It was bearable cold. And I mean, already you're in these layers, and so it's fine. There wasn't any actual snow on the ground. They brought that in from hockey and ice rinks daily. They took like the old ice. It was really funny. Um, but it wasn't too cold. I think the one thing that Tyler wanted to make sure that the film had was the breath coming out from like the cold weather, and didn't want to have to CGI that. So I think that that was the most important part in terms of filming at a cold or semi-cold location. It wasn't cold. I never was cold. So
well,
I I can survive in a lot of cold, so who knows?
I mean, that's like the magic of acting because it would just throw me so much not being in like actual sort of cold, like to really get that vibe. But yeah, so I need to wrap up, but I just wanted to say you are so great in this. It's such a great movie. I really appreciate you talking to me. And super quick, I love you in Yellow Jackets.
Thank
Like
you.
your character, oh my gosh, like it's so heartbreaking and it just kind of enters my head every once in a while. But anyway, um,
I
so
get that.
get that a lot.
I
Um,
understand.
but yeah, thank you so much. And It's a Wonderful Knife comes out, I believe, on the December 1st, which is Friday, and that's really exciting. Y'all should check that out. I will put all that information in the description. Again, thank you so much.
Thank you so much. It was so
Yeah.
lovely to talk to you.
All right, thanks.